afternoon. I'm meteorologist Michael White. It is 1 o'clock. If you're just joining us, we've been keeping you updated at the top of each hour on the oil slick situation as well as the situation with our weather. And as we take a live look at the storm tracker, of course, Mobile Metro, Pensacola Metro are dry. There was the threat we could see some severe weather later on into the day. And there's one piece of good news. Now it looks like severe weather threat is going to be well north of the Mobile and Pensacola Metro and all of the Gulf Coast, which is certainly going to help out with the oil slick situation. We're still expecting to see rough waters out there, but at least we're not talking the threat for severe weather. That being said, a few showers are still sparking off on the Mississippi side, even moving in through Citronelle, but generally we're going to be seeing the rain start to move through the metro area later on this afternoon, mainly into the overnight hours tonight, but we're not expecting this to reach severe limits anymore, which is good news. Of course, if that changes, we'll be letting you know here on Fox 10 as well as on Fox10TV.com. Now, as far as buoy reports, the winds, they're still intense, so we're seeing a south wind, and as we've said all morning long, you don't really want to see a south wind. We'd rather have a north wind because the oil slick is generally going to just ride with the wind. And we have a 25-mile-per-hour south wind out at Mobile South. We have a 25-mile-per-hour wind at South Pass. South of New Orleans, we're talking a 28-mile-per-hour south wind. And everyone's been wanting to know, well, when are we going to see the wind shift? And unfortunately, it doesn't look like in the immediate future we're going to see one. There's a frontal boundary out west. That's where those showers were sparking off. As the front rolls through, that's when we'll start to see the winds eventually shift to the north, but that front's going to be moving through very slowly. So perhaps Tuesday night, maybe even into Wednesday. That's when we'll start to see the wind shift. And on our Futurecast model, it gives you a really good look at what's going to happen with the wind flow. Keep in mind, we have high pressure off the east coast. Areas of high pressure flow clockwise. Pull the winds in from the south. We have low pressure to the west. Areas of low pressure flow counterclockwise. Well, same difference. You're going to be dealing with a south wind, and we're going to be seeing the two winds converging. A very tight pressure gradient's going to be in play. And once we get the front through here, watch what happens. According to the model run, we're going to see the wind shifting out of the southwest, which would pull the oil slick closer to the Mobile and Pensacola Bay. And as we've told you all morning, is this exactly the way things are going to pan out? No, of course not. This is a situation that most meteorologists have never had to deal with before. It's definitely a new scenario for a lot of people, but we're just going to have to watch the wind flow and see what happens with this oil slick as we move in over the next 24 to 48 hours. Now, to give you a good look at what's going on out in the Gulf, take a look at one of our DOT cams. You can see on the causeway, you can see the waves sort of splashing up against it. Now, this image, this is a live look, by the way. It's not as intense as what we saw in the last hour. It's still choppy waters, but not quite as rough as what we had before. And with the threat of severe weather diminishing, that's even better news. Now, take a look live at our Dauphin Island cam. This is out on top of Holiday Isle in Dauphin Island. And again, the shot's not particularly great because it's a very hazy day, a very cloudy sky, but you still see people out there on the beach because it's very warm, it's very humid. But even though we're not looking to see the threat of severe weather, rain still looks likely as we move into tonight and into tomorrow morning. Now, before we send you back to programming, I want to show you a look at what NOAA is projecting as far as their model forecast. This is today, and this is tomorrow. When we factor in the southwest wind flow, the oil does get a little closer to the Mobile and Pensacola Bay, but still keeps it out in the Gulf of Mexico, Pascagoula, and, of course, Louisiana, seeing the strongest threats for now. We'll be tracking this throughout the day. Of course, remember, tonight we're treating it as if it's a weekday. We're going to do a full 1 hour 5 p.m. and a full 1 hour 9 p.m. Bob and Lanice will be anchoring. We'll also have Jason in the Weather Center. We're going to be keeping up with all of this throughout the course of the day, as well as on our website, fox10tv.com. And remember, in the top right corner, you can download the iPulse app as well. So a lot of stuff going on, from the severe weather threat to the oil slick. Whole bunch of things going on over the next 24 to 48 hours. It's certainly going to be very interesting. We'll be back on the air at 2 o'clock for another update, and we will be carrying President Obama's news conference live at a little after 10, maybe about 10 after, a little after 2, I should say. About 10 after 2 is when he'll be speaking, and we'll be carrying that live. For now, I'm meteorologist Michael White here in the Fox 10 Storm Tracker Center. We'll see you back here at 2 o'clock, and we'll go ahead and send you back to programming.